Good morning, mentors. I'm going to give it 30 seconds and then we're going to get started. Okay, good morning, students. I'm just going to get going. I will take no more than 5 minutes of your time just to talk about the release of your predicted grades. For information, this assembly is being recorded. Firstly, your predicted grades are going to be released today to you at 9 o'clock. So they're not on there now. Please don't start looking on Frog. You can look at 9 o'clock. I'm just going to share my screen and give you a little bit of info about them. Okay, so this is actually one, this is a mock-up one. This isn't actually one of yours, but this is what they will look like. So at the top of your statement, you'll have your subjects and you'll have the grades that you are being predicted. And then you'll have the notes below. I just want to talk through them. The first one, I'm not going to talk through in detail. It just tells you what the grades are. If you get NA, then that probably means that if you've missed so much, your teachers are not able to give you a predicted grade, or one or two of you, if you've joined very recently, meaning your teachers don't know you yet, as agreed, you might get your predicted grade slightly later on in the term. Point 2, we reserve the right to amend your predicted grade before we submit your UCAS if your attitude drops significantly. So obviously at the moment, your predicted grade is based on the work that you have done so far, and you will be able to provide an appeal to try and increase that grade. But the school also reserves the right to reduce that grade if you now stop trying, basically, between now and the end of November, because we've got to be as accurate as we possibly can. Now, point 3, which is the one that you're probably all most interested in, is that if you feel a grade is unfair, and I want to reinforce the word unfair, you can provide an evidence-based appeal. That will involve collating any evidence you have of your ability to achieve a high grade and write a covering letter. And you need to email it to me by Sunday, the 17th of October. I will be reviewing them on Monday, the 18th of October. So any submitted after this deadline may not be considered. I'll do my best, but I'm not promising you anything. We will review your appeal and respond to you in writing within 2 weeks. If you are early entry, it'll be quicker than that because we'll prioritise you. Everybody else, you can expect to get a response within 2 weeks of that 17th of October date. If you study history or computing, you might be missing your grade. That's due to staff illness. So in computing, Mr. Connors has been off sick. And in history, obviously with Mr. Walker being off sick as well, there has been a slight delay in those two subjects. As soon as we've got those grades, they will be published to you, and then you will have 2 weeks from the date of publication to appeal for those subjects. So if you are, you won't miss out on any sort of appeal. I have checked, and everyone who's early entry who does those subjects, I've spoken to you separately. So early entry students won't be affected by that. Okay, a quick reminder before we talk more about the appeals that UCAS keep a little track every year of what grades we predict and what students actually get. Now, over the last few years, I've been incredibly strict with the predicted grade process, and that's to protect you. That's so that UCAS don't think that we predict wrongly. But that also means I've got to be really strict with you to protect next year and the year after. So I am just not able to predict you a grade that I've not seen evidence you are capable of submitting. And so I would like you to think not whether the grade you get is the grade you want. I would like your thought process to be, is that grade fair given the work you have produced? Now, if the answer is no, this is what you need to do. For an appeal, you need to submit a covering letter and an evidence and a portfolio of evidence. We'll start by talking about the evidence. The evidence could be assessments. It could be work done over the summer, homework, classwork, coursework, or a folder. If you've got, for example, in something like art, you will have a folder. Do remember that work done in exam conditions, such as assessments, will obviously hold more weight in terms of evidence than things like homework or classwork, but we'll take everything into account. Once I get your evidence, I will take it to the subject leader. We'll have a conversation, and then we'll make a decision. As I said, last year about half the appeals changed and half didn't, so it is worth appealing, but only if you think you have got evidence. I would recommend not wasting your time appealing if you just don't have any evidence. Your covering letter has got to explain that evidence. So it's got to explain why you think you are capable of getting a higher grade. You can talk about what the work is when you did it. You could talk about your study schedule. You could talk about what you've got planned for the year. You can talk about anything you want that you think contributes to the fact you're capable of getting a higher grade. Now, finally, before I end this quick assembly, I want to be absolutely clear on one thing. I will not be tolerating anybody going up to their subject teachers and having a go at them about the grades they've got, or being rude or being disrespectful. There's an appeals process. If you think the grade you've been given is not fair, then you appeal and you prove to us that is the case. But if I hear that students have been going up and being rude to staff or demanding to know rudely why they got a specific grade, I won't be happy. You are, of course, welcome to go and have a polite conversation with a member of staff about why they predicted you a grade at a time that's convenient to them. That's fine. I'm not saying don't do that, but please make sure that you are respectful and polite. I've had it in the past where students have been quite rude to staff about the grades they've been predicted. Our staff are professionals and have a right not to suffer that sort of abuse. So please check your conduct over the next few days. I'm off now to do an assembly for main school, but I will be around during period 2 if anyone has any questions or would like to come and ask me. Right, mentors, thank you so much for giving me your time. This has been recorded, so if you joined late, you're welcome to listen to it now, and I'll leave you to it. Good luck for your predicted grade release, and I hope you have a really nice day. Thank you.